So I'm going to show you how to finish threading the top thread. Okay, as you can see, I have a dark colored top thread here. You're going to, after you've gone down and up through the take up lever, you go back down. Then there's usually a couple of thread guides in this area. My first one is right here. I hold my thread kind of like you would hold dental floss. Makes it easier to go through there. I go through the first thread guide, and then again I hold it like you would hold dental floss to go through my second thread guide. I think you have two thread guides like that on yours at school too. Then the hardest part is threading the needle. Really, that's the hardest part of this whole process once you get used to the other steps. So you're going to go from the front through the back. Oh, yay. I got it. Just the second try. Okay. You always need to have about 8 or 10 inches of thread here when you sew. Otherwise, the thread's going to pull out as you sew. And you're always going to have, this is called the presser foot right here. This is a super important part, and you're always going to have your thread underneath your presser foot and out the back. Okay, so it's going to go underneath my presser foot and out through the back of the machine. Now, this is the area that the bobbin thread is in. The bobbin is this little tiny kind of spool that you will actually wind. I will show you how to do that. And the bobbin is the bottom thread. Whenever you sew, you always have a top thread that comes down and interchanges with the bobbin thread. Okay, this one, you have a pop plate, this little black thing here. If I move it, it will pop that plate up. And this may be kind of hard to see in this video, but you're going to drop your bobbin in here with the bobbin thread coming off on the left side. Okay, most of our bobbin plates will have a little diagram on it showing you exactly how it goes in. And you can see here it shows it coming off on the left side, going through a thread guide, going to the left, and then coming back up. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I have my thread coming off on the left side here. I'm just going to drop it in. I'm going to hold it with one finger here. My thread's going to go through this very tiny little thread guide here. It's called a tension discs. And then it's going to go laying over the other one. And I'm going to lay my thread up that way. And I'm going to put my pop plate back in. See these little tabs right here? They go in, you know, a corresponding area there. And just put it back down. Now, I have my bobbin thread coming up through here. But what I want is for my bobbin thread to come up through the hole in my needle plate. This whole area here is called your needle plate, okay? And there's one way to do that. So this is actually written out for you too in class, so you can follow it by the directions. You're gonna hold your needle thread. That's the thread that's going through the needle. Remember, we just threaded it all the way through the top. You're gonna hold your needle thread in your left hand. With your right hand, you're gonna take the hand wheel and you're gonna turn it towards you until the needle goes all the way down and all the way up. And then if you tug on it a little bit, that needle thread is gonna come right up through the bottom, through that hole in the needle plate. And I'm gonna pull it all the way out here. Oh boy, I had a bunch of it there. I guess I didn't need that much sitting out. Okay, I'm gonna pull it all the way out. And remember I told you the top thread needs to go underneath the presser foot and out in the back. That's the same thing with the bobbin thread. It needs to go underneath the presser foot, back that way. Okay. Now, first thing you always do, once you're sure that your top thread is threaded correctly and your bobbin thread is in and your bobbin thread is out through the needle plate and out through the back, is you need to test your stitches. You're going to test your stitches by putting a little tiny scrap of fabric underneath the presser foot. And this is one of the most important things in the world. You're going to take, you have a little lever that will control the presser foot up and down, okay? The way the fabric gets fed through here is that right down here, there are these little teeth looking thing. It's called the feed dog, and they come up and they feed the fabric back. But it's only going to work if the fabric is pressed down on it with the presser foot. So watch me here, okay? I'm gonna line up my presser foot with the edge of the fabric, and I put my presser foot down. You notice what I did not do is go like this. I did not do that, okay? Just gently put my presser foot down. And then I'm gonna find my foot pedal, or no, actually my machine here doesn't have a foot pedal. My machine has a button. You have a foot pedal on yours, and I'll show you where that is. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start. And I just wanna sew an inch or so, just to be sure that my stitches are okay. All right, and make sure I threaded it correctly. Very important. I'm gonna lift my presser foot up. My needle is in the highest position. Lift my presser foot up, pull it off of the machine, and trim my threads, okay? And my top thread was black, and my bobbin thread was red, okay? I don't normally have two different colors of thread, but I wanted to do that for you to show you what a good row of stitching is. I should not be able to see any of the dark colored thread coming through on the bobbin side. And conversely, I should not be able to see any bobbin thread, any of the red colored thread coming through the top side. Now that I've done those first few stitches and I've tested my needle's not loose, you're ready to actually sew on your project.